Mike, tell me about the Orca. This is incredible.
What do you want to know?
I want to know how it came to pass. I want to know about your love for Jaws. I want to know why you built the darn boat.
Well, just a quickie, but 1975, I'm 7 years old. Jaws came out in the cinema. We've got, I come from a steel town and everything's closed down. There's 2 cinemas left open. My sister, my cousin and my mum were all girls, took us to see Jaws at the cinema. I was too young, so I was snuck in under the raincoat, right? She paid for the ticket, but I got snuck in under the raincoat.
Jaws did put a lot of fear into a lot of hearts of kids.
I didn't want to go in the bath, never mind the water.
All right, so tell me about this vessel. What was the base?
What I did, I always wanted to build the Orca. Well, actually, quick one, when I came home from the cinema, I tipped out my bucket of Lego and I built my rendition of the Orca. On that night, I built it and it was different color bricks, everything, but to me, it looked perfect. And my mum said, that looks exactly like it. Didn't look anything like it, but she's like, that looks just like it, son.
Are you a boat builder by trade?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
yes.
So tell me, what is this based on?
This is a 1964 Vinnie Kavanagh lobster picnic boat, and he built a couple of these, but this was more or less the same hull shape as the boat that was used in Jaws, the base boat that they used. And
So,
I went looking for this, right? I looked at a lot of boats before I bought this one.
so couldn't be more exact then. Use the same hull essentially.
She's a little bit smaller, right? But from what everybody's like, it's too small. But from what I can see, it's about maybe 6-10 inches narrower, and it's shorter by a couple of feet. But I've scaled everything to
So you connected with the great Joe Alves.
Yeah.
And that's where the attention to detail. Did you study movies? Did you study the film?
Yeah. Well, I studied it from Matt Taylor. Wrote Matt Taylor's book. Matt Taylor's book was like absolutely essential for. That's why I got the Warlock picture for the base boat and everything. This
is the classic scene.
This is it. This is the lamp when Brody comes in for the thing. He hits his head on the lamp like that, and he comes in and it's the.
Here it is.
Yeah, and he's the. When I was building this, I made sure you could get your leg up like this. See that?
That's good.
Scoop right round there.
Right? That is awesome.
All of this stuff is really hard to find because everybody has gone Jaws crazy. You can't, that stove, the clock, it's as close as I could get it because I actually work for a living, right? So.
But so like this piece, exact?
No. Can't, people have them. That's like the unicorn horn.
Tough to find.
The radio she's leaning on is another unicorn horn. You can't find them. That is exact. This is 3D printed. Eventually I'll get it, and it's a shame because Michael Fulcher has the Grenier harpoon gun, this is wide enough and it sits here. When he gets the harpoon gun, but he's got it on display at the moment. That's the original style rod that's out there as well. I'm trying. Everything's not exact, but I can always replace things. And that stove's exact, that pan's exact, the coffee pot's exact. The lamp is the porthole. Couldn't find the outside, so I made it. It's a work in progress. And another guy, Steve Bird, came from Canada to help me. He brought the light. He made me the jacket. This is his toolbox. He made the cushions. As well, I've had help, but this is not just a sole thing. I've had help with it.
And all weathered by design.
He made them Steve made these, and he even missed out the button, right? And he scooped this out because he said that's where Hooper sits, and there's a dent. So he took the material.
Fabulous.
People who are not Jaws fans don't understand that you can put that movie on a rainy day and go and watch it. You can put it on in the background when you're doing something else, but then you end up like walking past the TV and standing there. Quick story, went to dinner with Dreyfus and Joe Alves and everybody last night. Mike put a dinner on, so I go and introduce myself to Richard Dreyfus, and he's watching Jaws, right? And I said, hey Mike, nice to meet you. And he goes, nice to meet you. And he goes, hold on a minute, I'm in this scene, right? And I was, and so we sit and having dinner, and me and my son, so we sit and having dinner, and we're talking to everybody, and the Jaws is on, and we start watching, and then Jeffrey Kramer, who plays the cop, he's on the when they're on the boat scene, and he's going, hey, this is it, when the kids go, do it. So he's on there, and I look left, and he's sat there having dinner, and I'm like, get out of town, this is so surreal, this is like amazing.
Have they been on the boat? As dry fish?
No, nobody's been on it yet.
Yeah.
They're all, you got to understand, they're only here for the weekend, they're all so busy. I'm not going anywhere. We had trouble, the boat's not functional at the moment. There's lots of stories. Did you go to the museum and see there's a full-size version that's the same as this, and the guy who built it, I kind of used his dimensions and stuff, and it's amazing. He came with his family. Yeah, I'm having trouble with the gearbox because we had a bit of a tragedy coming around. It bent the linkages. He comes on and he's like, Mike, this looks like mine. I said, because I kind of copied off yours a little bit, right? I said, and thanks. What a nice guy. And it's a Yanmar diesel. He works on Yanmar diesel. He says, fire it up, Mike. There's people in. We've got the engine cover up. His family's there. And he's working on the engine, and it was just like on the movie. I'm in here. He's down there, and I'm like, there's salt water in the injectors, and he's going, yeah.
It's family. It's Jaws family.
You've just nailed it. You've just nailed it. Right, we were like one big family, and this here, they wanted to plan events around it and stuff, and I said, I'm bringing it here, and it's not going to cost anybody a dime to see it. Right, this is for the fans. This is because I'm a fan, and I know if I couldn't afford to go, if this was here and it wasn't mine, and I couldn't afford to go to see it, it would break my heart. So this is here for everybody to enjoy for free. What do you get for free these days? The people we've met on the way, we were stuck in a Tractor Supply. I went from the rest stop where I met the guy with the bracelet, and I packed the bearings again, and it's Father's Day Sunday, everything's closed. There was a Tractor Supply 5 minutes away, so I rang a couple of people, didn't get an answer. I go to a Tractor Supply, some guy comes out on a Sunday, he's a one-man band. He comes out and he's got 2 wheel bearings on his truck. I needed 3 at least just to get going. He's got 2. Yeah. He comes, he turns up. He's like, I'll see what I can do. He goes off and sees his friends and everything. Comes back with another 2 wheel bearings and some pieces. And between me and him and the Tractor Supply, all of the people who work in the Tractor Supply were out helping. We managed to couple the bearings together enough to get it, but we were there 6 hours. People were turning up, and people were in tears. One lady comes up to me as I'm working on the bearings, and she goes, look at that, and she's got goosebumps on her arm, and she said, look at that, that's because of this. And I said, I know, it's I just want you to know, this is, if I could let everybody's asking to come on, if I could let everybody come on board the boat, trust me, I would, right? Because everybody deserves to have it. You're sitting in Quint's seat, look, right?
I'm in Quint's seat.
You're in Quint's, look, get a shot of this guy in Quint's seat, look. Look at that.
So what was the biggest challenge?
What was the biggest challenge was Mary Ellen Moffat, because she broke my heart.
I love
Sorry,
it.
I couldn't.
I love it.
Biggest challenge, family, 2 kids, running my own business, and a very understanding wife, because I have a double-decker bus and old semi-trucks, classic cars. And it all used to live at my workshop, but I sold the shop. We were going to move to Kentucky. I sold the shop, and everything gravitated to our house, and then we didn't move, and it's still at our house. That's where this was sitting for 5 years.
Yeah.
And she's been my wife has been amazing, right? Because anybody else would have packed up and gone, because I'm a bit of a handful. That's hard to imagine, I know, but my son.
And you've got your mistress.
Well, yeah, my son luckily has got mum. He's got mum right here, right? Yeah. So when it gets really bad, I'm like, Jack, go and work on your mum, Jack. And he's like, okay, Dad, I'll see what I can do for you. And he comes back and he's gone, you can keep it for another week.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wonderful job, man. Michael, wonderful
listen,
job.
to get it here, again, Mike Fulcher, right? Without him, it was going to the dump. I was going to be taken to the dump because my father-in-law was involved in it. Sadly, he was going to take the project on with me, and he slumped over on the desk last year, and Grandma rang us. They're in Sacramento, and he had a brain tumor, and he lasted 6 weeks. Horrible. And that was, my wife said, it's time to get rid of the boat now. And that's when I contacted Mike on his site and said, does anybody want to take this on? I don't want to take it to the dump. There's too much heartache involved in it. It's time to let it go. And he inspired me to get this here and bring it. That guy, and he's an unsung hero because he's done it all out of his own pocket, right? Not everybody's like, hey, that guy must be making a fortune. You must. We are out. This is all out of our pocket. Narragansett, they sponsored us, right? They gave us, and I'm like, they said, how can we sponsor you, Mike? And I said, you can send a pallet full of Narragansett down to Florida, right? And I said, don't worry, I've got a forklift, so don't worry about overpacking that thing. I'm still waiting for it. But anyway, they did. That cabinet's full of it, and I didn't used to drink it before, but now I've got. That is a good tasting beer.
If you're on this boat, man, you've got to have a nary.
You got to have a, what do you call them?
Nary.
A nary.
Nary.
I didn't even know how to pronounce it. I got put in my place because I used to call them something.
Well, Narragansett, Rhode Island.
Yeah, you are.
Is where it originated.
Yeah. What a story! What a story with that.
It's a great story. They were huge in the '70s, and they went small. They were brought back again. There was a resurgence.
They've got the classic cans out and everything, and it's
right in there.
But you know what? Sometimes you get something like that and you taste it and you're like, yeah, well, and you'll. But that stuff you like, you taste it and then you're like, oh yeah, I'll have another.
After 5 or 6, they really get good.
If you could go back to my shop now, right? Yeah. There's cans of Narragansett, because the shop's a disaster, but they're all over the place because I was keeping them to crush, right? And then I drank so many that I'm like, oh, I've got to get crushing these cans here.
Love it. Mike, last question. What's your favorite scene in the movie? Your favorite scene? I know you just came with a leg.
I'm going to tell you my unfavorite scene first, right? Is when Quint gets it. I can't even bear to watch it, right? Because I read the book as well. I carry the book with me. I lived in my 20s. I bought a beat down sailing boat, and I was 23. I bought a trimaran sailing boat in the island of Corfu in Greece. Fixed it all up and lived on the boat for 2 years and sailed around the Greek islands. And I had the Jaws. I had Peter Benchley's Jaws and the Deep. And then unfortunately, in a book swap in one of the English bars, I got the fog, right? So I'm anchored out in the middle of a bay on my own on the boat, and I start reading the fog, and I'm like, and they came on board the boat with the fog, and I'm like, there's not even a lock on the hatch.
That's good.
But favourite part of the movie, simple, easy, all of it. The whole thing, right? There's not a part of it I wouldn't watch again. Or I can't pick a favourite part because it's the whole thing. People are talking about remaking it. You cannot remake it, right?
Not the original. No.
You can try. You're gonna ruin it, right? If you do it, you will ruin. You won't ruin it because people will just go, nah. Just leave it alone. Some things are better off left alone. And Jaws, that's it. It stood the test of time. 50 years. Can't believe I'm 57. I feel 27.
Mike, savor this weekend. It's well deserved.
I've just literally just finished working on it, right? And I've said, you know what? She's not finished by a long shot, but it's a labor of love.
The Drift Podcast can be found at driftsociably.com or where all fine podcasts are heard.